Hello everyone, welcome back to another mechanical review. Today, the mechanic we'll be observing is the biology of Martians within the DC universe. A lot has already been said about Kryptonian biology and its incredible powers, especially under the right circumstance. However, I would very much argue that Martians, at base, are a lot more powerful than the average Kryptonian. To be clear, I'm speaking about green Martians, not the white ones, even though I don't believe there's much of a difference there. So what can Martians even do? Well, what can they do? Firstly, Martian biology is very similar to Kryptonian biology when it comes to pure raw strength. I'm not saying that they're just as strong as Kryptonians, but they are very physically durable. Second, Martians have many other sub-powers, the biggest ones being shapeshifting, telepathy, invisibility, phasing, flight, and regen. With these powers, they excel in two main ways. The first is espionage. John is the ultimate thief. He can turn himself invisible to be completely unseen, and he can phase through walls to get anywhere he wants. If he doesn't want to sneak, he can always just shapeshift to look like anyone he wants, and then get access to any room. You might say that he still couldn't imitate anyone, since he doesn't know how they act, but I would counter that with telepathy, he can simply learn anything he needs from someone, and from there he can imitate them perfectly. Speaking of telepathy, he could use that skill to get any valuable information he wants, or even remove information from someone's head, if that info is too dangerous to share. The second way Martians are powerful is through combat. Obviously, they have super strength, but their other skills make it so that they can win almost every other encounter. With their shapeshifting, they can avoid damage by making themselves smaller, or make themselves massive to overpower others. And more grossly, they could shapeshift into someone's body. Not to mention that with visibility and phasing, they can become impossible to hit. And even if you could hit them, the damage you do might not be enough to bypass the regeneration. And all of this would be fine if it weren't for their true form. So to be clear, Martians don't have access to their OG forms, but I still want to discuss it because it's so strong. Their burning Martian forms have the same powers as regular Martians, just increased exponentially. So much that one burning Martian was enough to take out the entire Justice League. Additionally, burning Martians don't have the crippling weakness to fire. When it comes to the themes or meaning of this mechanic, I do think that thematically, the idea of a green Martian is supposed to work within our old ideas of those beings. But all of those ideas work well, specifically with John. His power of invisibility works well with John's loneliness as one of the last of his kind. Moreover, our idea of green Martians being weird and perhaps dangerous contrasts well with John, who's one of the nicest and most empathetic beings in the universe. Martian powers are, as you have seen, complicated, to a point where it's really hard to keep straight what powers they have. And this is only complicated by writers who will, at a whim, just add brand new powers to his arsenal. However, the ones I mentioned seem to be the one we see the most and the ones we should expect. I think one last part we should discuss is synergy. And by that I mean the way in which Martian biology for combat works well with others. Martians are essentially the perfect assist beings. They can help with almost anything, meaning they always contrast well with other people. On top of that, one Martian is scary enough, but an army of them that are just as strong as John would be terrifying. I mean, just imagine what a group of them could accomplish through telepathy. They could make your mind completely unsafe at all times. Moreover, you could never trust anyone's identity, as they could easily take over the life of someone else to get to you, kinda like Skrulls, or just move to you like an army of ghosts that you can't see coming. So, with all this evidence, I'll use my very legit scoring system to give it a 7 out of 10. See you next time. Peace.